So we're going to start our applied econometrics class with chapter number 1. This chapter is an introduction to econometrics, and in this chapter I'm going to talk about 4 things. First, I'm going to talk about econometrics models, what type of models econometrics deals with, and in the next part 2, I'm going to talk about different types of data that you can use, and essentially we're going to talk about cross-sectional data, time series data, and panel data models. So these are the 3 types of data that I will talk about in this course. In the third part, I will talk about the nitty-gritty of using econometrics models. I will talk about causality, the assumption of ceteris paribus, counterfactual outcomes, etc. So the idea here is to give you intuition behind using econometrics models in this chapter. So imagine that you are working for a government or any publicly funded organization, and they want to analyze what happens to people's salaries if they ask people to join a particular job training program. So is the job training helping people increase their salaries? So essentially that is the whole point. If people are more productive after going through that job training program, that job training program is more successful. So you want to analyze the effectiveness of a job training program. Econometrics will help you analyze this problem. Another example could be returns to education. For example, you may be interested in knowing what is the impact of education on the workers' earning. So econometrics uses some of the economic models, economic tools. It's the mixture of 3 types of fields: economic, statistical, and mathematical tools. And econometrics use all these tools to analyze particular data so that you can make some decisions in business and economic environment. So the goal will be to explore relationship between variables, as I said earlier. For example, you may be interested in knowing what is the relationship of a job training program and a workers' productivity, or education and workers' productivity. So econometrics is essentially based on development of statistical methods for estimating economic relationships between variables. We use economic theories, evaluate those theories, and we implement different government and business policy decision making based on economic theory and those statistical tools. So that is the goal of using econometrics. So these are the steps to use econometrics models, and we test relationships in econometrics analysis. So the very first step is to build an econometric model. So an econometric model is, it consists of mathematical equations that you use to show the relationship that I just talked about. For example, wage and earnings. So wage and education. So you want to explore this relationship using some equations. In the next video, I'm going to talk about some of these models and some of these equations. I'm going to talk about different examples and how you can show relationships between variables using these mathematical equations. So that is the whole point of using econometrics. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about some of the econometrics models and some of the mathematical equations. All right, see you in the next video. Thank you.